All right, guys, welcome to another episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of different things in regards to dog training, protection training, and I'm going to catch you up a little bit on what I've been up to. Last episode I uploaded was 2 weeks ago, and have been pretty bombarded with a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to kind of bring you up to speed on some of the things I've been doing, why I haven't been as active on social media, especially on YouTube and the podcast. Where YouTube, I was posting pretty much every single day, and now I've become a little bit less active. So I recently left Starmark Academy. Recently, I mean about a month ago. I was an instructor there for 7 years. I had a great time. It was an awesome experience. It was an awesome chapter of my life. And I will always be grateful to that company, to that organization for helping me grow as a professional, as an instructor, as a communicator, and just as a dog trainer in general. Starmark just gave me some awesome opportunities that I would not have had otherwise. I got the opportunity to do continued education in different areas, and it allowed me to pursue other things on the side that would have been more difficult to do running a business. So I was able to work on 3 books and author 3 books. I do have a fourth one which has been dragging ass for a long time now, but that fourth one is so close. I can almost read it. That's how close it is to just being finalized. But I was able to pursue that. I was able to expand my brand, the social media brand, which is dog training is my passion. And I never really had a problem with Starmark. Starmark was always to me, in my eyes, from my perspective, it was a great company to work for. I have worked with other people who left Starmark in not so good terms. The way I look at it is, whatever company you work for, you have to understand a couple of things. One of them is the company that you work for, whatever company it is, whether it's a dog training business or it's Walmart. Whatever company you work for, they're going to use you. That's the whole point of working for a company. Nobody owes you anything. You chose to work there. You chose to enter an agreement in which you would trade your time for money. You agreed to that. And you also have the freedom to leave at any moment when you're not happy with it. And that's not to say that some people do get screwed over by the companies they work for. It just never was my experience. Was Starmark a perfect company to work for? Definitely not. But the way I looked at it was, Starmark is using me, right? They're using my talents, my experience, my knowledge, my people skills, so that I could benefit the organization. So the logical thing for me to do is to be aware of that. I am trading my time for money. But then what I want to do in return is, what I did is, I would in return use Starmark. So rather than it just be a one-way transaction, one, I was getting a paycheck. Two, I had very predictable hours. It allowed me to pursue things on the side. It allowed me to expand additional sources of income, which now definitely come in handy. I've monetized my YouTube channel. I'm getting paid royalty fees from Amazon from the books. And I mean, those definitely do help. The brand dog training is my passion has expanded enough that I could really, even if I write a book or release a product, I have enough of a following that it creates attention to the product. I've sold a mini course. I've sold a couple of audiobooks. So I was able to do that because I worked for a company that gave me a very predictable schedule. And yes, it was a lot of time, a lot of my own time, where I would come home after working a long day and I would pursue my own thing. But that's what you do. You choose to do that. You could do that, or you could take a nap because you're tired that you worked all day, and you just enjoy your weekends. You can do that. I didn't do that. I worked as though I had my own business running. Okay, because really that's what it is. Your brand name is your business. So I did that. I had the PSA club. I worked on other things. I set time aside to put content on social media. So anyway, long story short, I just wanted to tell you, yes, I have left that predictable schedule, and now I'm kind of doing things on my own. Not kind of. I'm really doing things on my own. My wife and I are definitely definitely on this together. She's very supportive. And now the schedule is not predictable. The schedule is scattered all over the place. I haven't had a day off, even when I was a star market. I haven't had a day off in like several, probably a good year. Where even on Sundays I was doing something. Saturdays I've had PSA club on Saturdays for, since I had the club, since I was involved in PSA. Sundays I've been doing open bite days, and I've had some PSA clients on Sundays. So to me, it just never felt like work. But now, at least I had a predictable schedule that allowed me to pursue things. Now the schedule is unpredictable. It's like I have to keep track of everything. If you own your business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's what I've been up to, and it's been a lot. It has been a lot that I've been involved in. I've been taking business coaching. So not me giving it, but I've been taking business coaching courses. So I'm investing my time in learning how to do something that I'm not very good at, and so again, that's why I've been pretty busy. But I have to do this. The podcast to me is one of those things that I just have to keep doing. Social media content, YouTube is something that I have to keep putting out there, because to me, one, it is an investment in the brand, but also I like to share. That's why I did this to begin with, and that's why I worked at Star Mark. One of the big reasons, I like to share. I like to share what I know, and social media gives me a great outlet to share what I know. Right, from funny memes to protection videos to how-to videos, and I've been doing that for a while now. I think I have about 700, maybe over 700 videos on YouTube now, and so yeah, it's still growing, it's still being expanded. So it's been great, and I got more going on. So it's just great. I love being busy. I love working and doing something that I feel contributes to my industry, which is dog training. I recently did a podcast or an episode with Dave Kroyer. So if you go to Dave Kroyer TV, I believe it's DaveKroyerTV.com, or just look up Dave Kroyer with a K. You look up Dave Kroyer, you'll see there's an episode. I posted it on my social media as well. So if you go to the Facebook page, I don't think it's on Instagram, but if you go to the Facebook page, it wasn't my link. It wasn't my platform, so I didn't share it on YouTube. I didn't share it on the podcast, but it was on Dave Kroyer's platform. So we did the episode, part of his podcast, and we did it together. I wasn't a guest. He wasn't my guest. We were just chatting, and we were talking about a very interesting topic, a little bit controversial topic, and the topic is, which protection sport is the best? So look it up, or go to my Facebook. Dog training is my passion, and you will see there. There's a link somewhere on there as you scroll down on, which protection sport is the best. So we talked about the different sports. Which protection sport in the U.S.? That's the thing. Which protection sport in the U.S.? So obviously in the U.S., the sports that we practice are going to be IGP, Mondial ring, French ring, PSA. American Schutzen is very new. We didn't really talk about the smaller sports like ADA or APA. We didn't talk about APPDA. We were just talking about the main big sports. So out of those sports, we didn't talk about Belgian ring. We didn't talk about KMPV because those sports are not really practiced in the U.S. So we talked about the main sports in the U.S. So I'm just going to summarize as briefly as I can. Go to the episode. It's much, much more intriguing, much more funny, because we're really talking about the pros and cons of each sport. Basically, when he asked me which sport do I think is best, obviously my answer is PSA. And my reason was PSA is the people sport. It's a very open and welcoming sport. People love PSA because it's very, very open. Some of the other sports are very closed and they have a bunch of snobby people. PSA is a very open sport. The crowd is very welcoming. Not always. There is drama. There are snobs in PSA. But in general, it's much easier to get information as an outsider about PSA than it is to get information about IGP or French ring or Mondial ring as an outsider. It's much more close of a crowd when you look at those sports, whereas PSA is very open. That's why during that episode I said it was the people sport. People love that sport because people are very open. One thing that Dave and I both agreed on. Now, if you're not familiar who Dave Kroyer is, I mean, that guy has accomplished a lot in protection sports, has competed, gone into world championships. He's a Mondial ring judge. He's competed at high levels in French ring and IGP. So the guy definitely knows his craft. But the one thing that we also agreed on in that episode was that PSA, especially in the higher levels like level 3, and even on level 1, but more specifically on level 3, we both agreed that PSA has the most amount of pressure than any other sport, where there is like all kinds of things within the guidelines thrown at the team, at the dog. Things like a weed whacker without the strings. We're not hurting the dogs. We're not hurting anybody. But the motor, leaf blower, water, like coming from a hose, pressurized water coming from a hose. All kinds of things to sabotage the team, the dog, within the guidelines and keeping the dog safe. You're going to see a lot more pressure thrown at the dog in PSA than in any other sport. So that's just a brief summary of that episode of what we talked about. Again, I strongly recommend that you go to go to Dave Kroyer TV, or look up Dave Kroyer on Facebook or Google it. He does have a YouTube channel, but it's like super, like very, very small. Most of his content he uploads to his website. So it's, he does have a subscription style website where you become a member. It's very, very cheap, very affordable. You become a member and you get all of the content that he uploads. And the episode is also that. Now, the episode is free. You don't have to be a member of his subscription to listen to that episode. But it's a pretty cool episode. And what Dave and I are going to be doing is we're going to be doing more of these episodes. We're going to be talking about things in the dog world more frequently. Now, we're not going to do it every day. We're not going to do it every week. But we're going to throw in a couple of episodes here and there. So about an episode a month, maybe a couple of episodes a month. And that's sort of the frequency that we talked about to, just kind of collaborate and work together. So that's something that is developing. Another thing, too, a little bit of news is I signed up for the NePoPo Silver School. And the goal is obviously to also go to gold. It's Bart and Michael Ballone's last school. I think it's a great opportunity, and yeah, so I figured it's their last one. The opportunity presented itself, and I'm in. So I'm gonna be going to that school as well. So I'm pretty excited about it. Just so many things happening, and I'm super pumped. So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the episode with Dave Kroyer. Which protection sport do you think is best? The other thing that I was sort of thinking about talking about is a little bit on the drama aspect of dog training. This is what Dave and I were talking about a few minutes ago, where we're planning the next episode, and one topic that I suggested is, hey, why don't we talk about drama? Just drama in the dog world. If you've been in the dog world for a lengthy enough period of time, you know that dog people are crazy. The dog world attracts an immense amount of drama. Snobs, egomaniacs, just people that just live through their working dogs, and just drama in general. I guess it's because it's a small world. It's a small world. It's a very tight-knit community, and the more you specialize, the more drama you see. So the tighter the group is, the tighter the groups are, the more cliques you have. This is something I've noticed for a long time. I hear people say that, oh, it's very similar to horse people. I don't know horse people. I don't work with horses. I'm not part of that community. But in the dog world, there is so much drama. There's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of talking behind people's backs. There's a lot of just like blowing things out of proportion. I've had my fair share with my club, and I've had to confront a couple of people and just sort of go, hey, so I heard this. Is this true? That's one of the things that I do. I won't just go, oh, I can't believe he said that. Well, I wonder why he said that. I will message that person, or I will call that person and go, hey, I heard you said this. Is this true? And right then and there, they'll tell me, no, I never said that. This got taken out of proportion. Or they'll tell me, no, I never said that, which tells me, yeah, you did say it. But, yeah, so that was one of the things that I suggested to Dave. I was like, hey, Dave, we should talk about drama. We should talk about the the fact that dog people are very, very snobby and just love the drama. What do you guys think? I think that'd be a good episode. Dave has been in the dog industry way longer than I have, and has accomplished way more than I have. So I think Dave's perspective on this topic would be, definitely would add a lot of value to this topic, drama. Or maybe not. Maybe we're gonna do another episode. This is just one of the things that I kind of threw his way and said, "Hey, what do you think?" So we're gonna keep brainstorming, and if you guys listening to the podcast, if you would like Dave Kroyer and I to talk about a specific topic, let me know about that too. Okay, so if you have any suggestions, one, obviously, I always welcome suggestions for the podcast, for this podcast. Okay, you guys are awesome with the suggestions that you give me. Are just amazing. I've had some really good episodes from your suggestions, from your questions. So keep those coming. But if you also have, something that you want Dave and I to talk about, remember, Dave has a lot more experience. He has accomplished a lot more. He is much more well known in the sport world too. So if there is something that you want to hear him talk about, let me know. I'll shoot it his way, and it might be one of the episodes that we make, one of the things that we talk about. All right, so I just want to keep this episode kind of short. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Instagram, Facebook, and one more thing too. I am in the process of making a mini video series on working dogs. So I'm putting this together. There's a lot of technicalities with the website, with the membership website, so it is a pain in the ass. It's a whole learning process for me. But I'm putting together a video series on working dogs, from how to acquire the working dog, what kind of dog to get, how to screen the breeders, all those things, right? So this is a topic or a question that I'm always asked. Hey, what kind of working dog should I get? What should I do with my working dog? So I've been getting a lot of these over several months. So I finally decided, you know what? People really want this information. Obviously, people are asking me. So I'm putting together this, and I got a bunch of videos already. So I'm putting it together. So stay tuned for that as well. That will be coming out. And I will let you guys know how to get a hold of that video series. So until the next episode, talk to you guys later.